Catherine Howard, a name etched in history, evokes a tale of beauty, betrayal, and tragedy. Born into the esteemed Howard family, she seemed destined for greatness. Her lineage boasted influence and power, a direct link to the highest circles of English society. Yet, behind the veneer of nobility, lay a troubled reality. Catherine's father, Lord Edmund Howard, though a man of noble blood, was plagued by financial mismanagement and a lack of favour within the family. His resources were stretched thin, burdened by a large family, and overshadowed by his more successful siblings. This financial strain cast a long shadow over Catherine's early life, denying her the privilege and security befitting her lineage. While her name carried weight, Catherine's childhood was a stark contrast to the opulence and grandeur associated with her family name. The Howards, despite their lineage, grappled with dwindling fortunes, a harsh reality that trickled down to the youngest members of their family. Catherine's early years were marked by uncertainty, a far cry from the lavish upbringing expected of a high-born daughter. The death of Catherine's mother, Joyce Culpeper, shattered any semblance of stability in the young girl's life. Passed from relative to relative, she became a ward in the care of her step-grandmother, the Dowager Duchess of Norfolk. The Duchess, a woman of considerable influence but questionable judgment, presided over a chaotic and permissive household. Chesworth House, one of the Duchess's many residences, became both a refuge and a breeding ground for Catherine's future troubles. It was here, amidst the bustling staff and lax supervision, that the young girl, starved for affection and guidance, became vulnerable to the advances of older, more experienced individuals. Within the walls of Chesworth, Catherine encountered Henry Mannix, her music teacher. This relationship, shrouded in controversy, would later come back to haunt her. The exact nature of their interactions remains a subject of debate among historians. Some argue that Mannix, taking advantage of Catherine's youth and naivety, engaged in inappropriate behaviour, crossing the boundaries of student and teacher. Others suggest a more ambiguous dynamic, a youthful infatuation gone awry. Regardless of the true nature of their relationship, Catherine's interactions with Mannix planted the first seeds of scandal that would eventually blossom into her downfall. These early indiscretions, whispered among the staff and ignored by those entrusted with her care, would later be used against her, painting a picture of a promiscuous and manipulative young woman. The lax atmosphere of Chesworth House, coupled with the Dowager Duchess's inattentiveness, fostered an environment ripe for indiscretion. It was here that Catherine's relationship with Francis Dereham, the Duchess's secretary, blossomed into a full-blown affair. Dereham, older and more worldly than Catherine, became her confidant and lover, a dangerous combination for a young girl yearning for attention and affection. Their relationship, though conducted in secret, was an open secret within the walls of Chesworth. They exchanged vows of love, referring to each other as husband and wife, a dangerous game of pretend with very real consequences. Dereham entrusted Catherine with responsibilities beyond her years, treating her as a wife in all but name. This period, though brief, would prove to be Catherine's undoing. The possibility of a pre-contract of marriage, a legally binding agreement, hung over their relationship like a dark cloud. If proven, such a contract would invalidate Catherine's future marriage to Henry VIII, rendering it null and void. Fate, it seemed, had other plans for Catherine Howard. Her uncle, the Duke of Norfolk, a shrewd and ambitious man, saw an opportunity to regain favour with the king. He arranged for his young niece to secure a coveted position at court as a lady-in-waiting to Anne of Cleves, Henry VIII's fourth wife. Catherine, barely a woman, was thrust into the snake pit of the Tudor court. Surrounded by intrigue, rivalry, and ambition, she navigated the treacherous waters with a mix of youthful exuberance and naivete. Her beauty, however, could not be ignored. Henry VIII, already tiring of his new queen, was captivated by Catherine's youthful charm and vivacious spirit. The court, a breeding ground for gossip and speculation, buzzed with rumours of the king's interest in the young Catherine Howard. Her past, however, cast a long shadow. Blackmailers, aware of her indiscretions with Manox and Dereham, lurked in the shadows, eager to exploit her past for their gain. John Lascelles, a former supporter of Cromwell, fueled the flames of scandal. He informed Archbishop Cranmer, a man with his own motivations for seeing Catherine removed from court, of her past indiscretions. The wheels of fate, set in motion by whispers and half-truths, began to turn against Catherine Howard. Section 5. The King's Desire, a mismatched union. Henry VIII, his heart inflamed by Catherine's youthful beauty, wasted no time in securing his prize. His marriage to Anne of Cleves, a political alliance devoid of passion, was swiftly annulled, paving the way for him to wed his new obsession. On July 28, 1540, Catherine Howard, a teenager thrust onto the world stage, became the fifth Queen of England. The age gap between them, a chasm of nearly 30 years, did little to dampen Henry's ardour. He showered his young bride with lavish gifts, jewels, and affection, eager to please and possess his new queen. Catherine, swept up in the whirlwind of her new life, embraced the trappings of royalty. She revelled in the finery, the attention, and the power that came with being the most important woman in England. Their honeymoon was a spectacle of extravagance. Henry, desperate to prove his devotion and win Catherine's heart, spared no expense. They travelled throughout England, their every whim catered to, feted and celebrated wherever they went. Behind the facade of happiness, however, lurked a growing sense of unease. Catherine's past, carefully concealed but never forgotten, threatened to shatter the illusion of their perfect union. Catherine Howard's downfall began with whispers and accusations. Her past indiscretions came back to haunt her, and the court was quick to turn against her. The young queen, once full of hope, now faced the grim reality of betrayal. Imprisoned in the Tower of London, Catherine's despair was palpable. She was just a teenager, isolated and terrified, knowing that her fate was sealed. The walls of her cell echoed with her regrets and fears, a stark contrast to the opulence she once enjoyed. On a cold February morning, Catherine Howard was led to Tower Green. Her tragic end was met with a sombre silence, as those who gathered could only watch in sorrow. The young queen's life was cut short, a poignant reminder of the ruthlessness of the Tudor court. Despite her brief and tragic life, Catherine Howard's legacy endures. She is remembered not just as a queen who fell from grace, but as a symbol of the perils faced by women in a patriarchal society. Her story continues to resonate, a testament to the enduring human spirit. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below.